Now, it is my privilege and pleasure to point out some well-deserved recognitions and acknowledgments tonight. And good news always travels in threes, at least that's what I've been told. So we have 3 items tonight. The first is with respect to celebrating Telecommunicators Week and recognizing some of our own in that regard. And to kick things off, I think I'd like to ask Chief Porter to please join us at the podium and introduce the subject. We have a more aerodynamic police chief tonight.
I like good news. This week, if you haven't heard, is National Telecommunicators Week, and we have a couple representatives from our dispatch center here today. Jenny Rizzo and Heather Lippy, if you'd like to step up. And I just wanted to take a couple minutes tonight to really recognize not only the work that these 2 ladies have done for the village in VOC. It's been a crazy year for us with consolidating 2 dispatch centers into one and keeping things going smoothly. It's been quite a challenge, and Jenny and Heather have done an outstanding job with that project. I also want to recognize all of our dispatchers for all the work that they've done in making this project a success, and also their day-to-day responsibilities. I always look at the dispatchers of any agency as kind of the unsung heroes. They're the ones that you count on when our citizens call 911, and they're the ones that we count on in the police and fire service to respond appropriately. So they don't get enough credit, so I definitely want to make sure that I acknowledge them today and for all their efforts. So thank you, Jenny, Heather, and all of our dispatchers. We really appreciate all the work that they do.
Thank you, Chief. I want to make sure that we also appropriately recognize you because, of course, when someone's in trouble and they pick up the phone, the first voice that they hear with respect to that emergency is yours. So that's really important before they come into contact with anyone else. And also want to compliment you on, for the first time ever, having to deal with the joining of 2 different dispatch centers. That's never been done before, and you probably feel a little bit older because of it all. But we do have a proclamation to read in recognition of Telecommunicators Week, and then I'd like to call you up and I'll walk down in a moment and hand this to you, but allow me to read it first so that everyone at home can hear it and share in it as well. Proclamation. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services, and whereas dedicated Downers Grove Village Operations Center telecommunicators daily serve the citizens of the village by answering their telephone calls for police, fire, and emergency services, and by coordinating the dispatch of emergency response equipment. And whereas telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas millions of people depend on the skill, expertise, and commitment of public safety professionals who aid in providing 911 emergency assistance to citizens across our nation. And whereas each telecommunicator exhibits compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their jobs, now, therefore, I, Martin T. Tully, Mayor of the Village of Downers Grove, do hereby proclaim the week of April 8th through 14th, 2012 as Telecommunicators Week. You get your own week. In the Village of Downers Grove, in honor and recognition of our telecommunicators and the vital contributions that they make to the safety and well-being of our citizens. And if you please join me up in front, I'd like to present you with the proclamation. I just want to make sure that if I call, you answer the phone. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Moving right along, as I said, good news travels in threes. The next item I'd like to acknowledge and recognize the accomplishments and national recognition of our own Marcia Giesler. And with that, Chief Jackson, please introduce this topic
right here, we're going to put you
in a way that will be far more eloquent and professional than I possibly could.
That's right. Well, thank you very much. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you've already heard through the various media sources about Marcia Giesler, she's the assistant chief to the fire. She's assistant to the fire. Promotion. She's assistant to the fire chief for community education, public information officer. But she's been recently nominated as the 2012 Life Safety Educator of the Year. She's receiving this national award for her outstanding achievements in fire safety education. And as I continue on tonight, you'll get an understanding of how this is a well-deserved award. Marcia, previously a school teacher, joined the fire department almost 20 years ago with a bachelor's degree in education with no previous background in the fire service. Being eager as she is, Marcia enrolled in Basic Fire Academy program to get a clear understanding of fire and its effects. As she grew into her public education within the fire department, she immediately became very familiar with the fire service and the many demands that go with it. As Marcia began her teaching, she utilized the many programs that NFPA provided to teach our children fire safety throughout the year. These programs are still a part of her daily curriculum to teach fire safety behavior to children ages preschool through 4th grade throughout the Downers Grove community. Her previous background as a school teacher gives her a unique ability to take the life safety programs and materials and communicate it to children in the manner they can relate to, motivating them to be safer while advocating preventable injuries. Marcia's drive for teaching fire safety to the school children is not limited to the various programs that NFPA offers. She has developed many life safety programs on her own to maintain the interest of the children as well as adults. Some of these programs are Passport to Safety, Adopt a Firefighter, What's Hot and What's Not, and where she's best known as her alter ego, Edith the Clown. These are just a few of the many programs she's developed to make sure the fire safety message was well written, as other departments have taken these actual curriculums and copied them. Children are not the only ones to receive the benefits of Marcia's teachings. Marcia also conducts fire safety presentations and evacuation drills for the high-rises in our town, many of which are residential, mostly are senior citizens. Her involvement in the Remembering When program have developed many older adults living in nursing homes, assisted living centers, and independent living centers to be more aware of the increased risks of falls and what they can do to avoid them. She also teaches fire prevention to these individuals with 8 key safety messages geared towards fire safety. Marcia does not know the word no. Marcia belongs to many committees in the state, such as the Illinois Fire Inspectors, where she developed criteria for certification for fire inspector and life safety educator program. She developed the public education curriculum for the Fire Officer 3 for the Illinois Fire Chiefs Association. Marcia also participates at a national level with a Vision 2020 committee, and she also presents at the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Marcia completed her master's degree in organizational management and recently authored a 400-page book entitled Fire and Life Safety Educator, which is now a state curriculum. As you can see, Marcia is a very busy person. Her dedication to the fire department, the loyalty, and belief in the programs she promotes makes her an exceptional educator. Her energy and enthusiasm inspires others to get involved in these programs to promote safety throughout the year. Her ability to motivate others is reflected in the outstanding community involvement during the many events that are held throughout our year. Marcia is a true leader and innovator. Her passion, enthusiasm, creativity, and vision has brought the fire department, as well as the fire service, to a new level. She is an asset to the department, the village, and the fire service industry. Our children and our community are a safer place because of the outstanding work she does every day. So please join me in congratulating Marcia Giesler for the NFPA 2012 Life Safety Educator of the Year.
Okay, I didn't think I was going to say anything, but that never stops me. I just have to say how lucky I am to receive an award for a job that I absolutely love. And I'm so lucky to work for a department that values education as part of its firefighting efforts. It has a place and it does have an impact, we know that, and I need to thank the Village of Downers Grove for always having supported fire and life safety education as part of our department's efforts. The firefighters, you know, nobody does any of this alone, and we are so fortunate that these firefighters that are rough and tumble and put themselves in danger all the time, I wish you could see them in front of children and working with older adults. They make it work, along with our partnerships with the hospital and the school and the police department, Doug Kozlowski's department has been invaluable. So there are a lot of people to thank for this. And thank you, Chief Jackson, for your commitment to education and for that long thing you read. But anyway, thank you, everybody. I'm very appreciative of the whole thing. So, thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Marcia. We of course, know you well in the community. I think there's probably very few employees of the village who are in the paper more than you are, between Passport to Safety and Learn Not to Burn, and of course, we get to see it when you present here with the kids. And so we've always known how special your service is to the community, but it's nice to see that the outside world recognizes that as well. So congratulations on a well-deserved award, and thank you for your outstanding service to our community.
Thank you.
All right. I wish every night was like this, and now we have one more. We also have to recognize and acknowledge another outstanding accomplishment in national recognition by our own police department, by CALEA, the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. And once again, if I can invite up Chief Porter to explain to everyone just exactly what this is, what it means, and what a difficult to attain achievement and recognition this really is, and what it means.
Certainly, thank you. Just for a little bit of background, last Saturday, March 24th, we appeared in front of the Commission on Law Enforcement Accreditation, and they had re-accredited us for another 3-year period. If Council can remember, this past November, we actually had an on-site review with the CALEA assessment team. It's never a fun process, but it's definitely a much-needed process. They come through and they go through all of our files, over 400 policies. They do staff interviews. They do a public hearing. They interview various public officials through the community, and it's a very comprehensive review that we go through every 3 years. I was extremely grateful and honored when I saw the final report that was outstanding. We had 100% compliance, and that's not easy to do. They really go through your department and they interview staff, and we just did very well. So it's good news. It's something that I think is definitely a credit to the agency. It's a credit to the people that work in our department. It was always gratifying to hear the CALEA commissioners talk about the services that we provide in the community and the quality and professionalism of our staff. The support that we get from our fine manager and our village mayor, our mayor and council, and more importantly, the community. It really came through just how much the community respects our police department and the partnerships that we have. And this process was really grateful, or very honoring, or very humbling as for a police chief. You know, I always, when I look at the nature of our business, I really look at our accreditation process is almost like driving a car with, I look at CALEA as our motor oil, and you can always drive a car for a while, but if you don't have oil in your engine, sooner or later you're going to have a breakdown. And I think our policies, our devotion to CALEA, I think really makes the difference in keeping our department as professional as we are. So I want to thank all of you for your support. I want to thank the community. I want to thank our accreditation team. It was definitely a win for the department, and I was very, very proud.
Well, we're very proud as well, and congratulations on that achievement. Once again, I think we know how exceptionally professional the department is, and in our hearts, of course, it exceeds all standards, but it's nice when an outside national organization recognizes that through the application of objective standards. I do remember